Hello and welcome to Who Dares Worlds TV. I am your host, Mike B, and here we are again, a fresh week, more or less, just into the fresh week anyway. I'm off on holiday this week. How exciting. Now, it may mean I get some more content produced. Who knows? The issue is still, well, we're obviously all stuck in the house. I've got the dog, we'll do a back catch up in a minute, and Isaac the baby. So it's tricky to still find time to sit here and do this and stuff. I've got a bunch, as I've said before, of video bits filmed, so I need to try in the evenings and maybe some free time try and compile that together and get some more content down. We will see. So yeah, as we mentioned, Baxter's fine. Baxter the Puppies now, he's been with us a week. We are slowly beginning Baxter training, but he's fine, he's well. He's a handful. So yes, that's happening. Games played. We haven't played much. I managed to get a 6-player game of Talisman Digital on Sunday night, which was, as you would imagine, all the joys that Talisman brings. It was cheap on Steam, so I managed to cajole some of the guys into playing it. We had a go at that. It ended as you would expect. In Carnage. No one won. We put on a timer, so I won it purely somehow through just the sheer happen chance of picking more stuff up. But anyway, we did that, so that was entertaining. That's pretty much it. Hopefully, I'll come to it in a minute. I might go and see if I can get Forgotten Waters played this week, and I'll come back to that in a second. So that's all of that. That's what's been going on here. Let's go for the stack stuff. So lockdown is what it is. But I've been picking stuff up in preparation of not being locked down. Who knows at the moment with the current situation, other than the fact that if you're a government advisor, you can do what you like, but we won't go there. So there's some stuff I've picked up. So I've got Gloomhaven Forgotten Circles I picked up the other day. It's on Games Law. I've got it on their secondary site. If you don't know about it, it's a good tip. There's Board Game Basement, I think it's called. It's like their discount sort of shift excess stock stuff. Have a look for it. I'll try and put a link on this thing. But they had Gloomhaven Forgotten Circles there for 15 quid. So we've played Gloomhaven. I'm sure I've covered this before. I was on the fence on this. It was cheap, so it's something I think I'm quite interested in giving a blast because it's a new character, a new small campaign, and it'd be a nice thing to maybe, not straight away, but we'll get into this, something to kind of touch on. It's a run-up into Frosthaven's launch release next year. But yes, so that's definitely something. I know the guys were desperate to get back to some more Gloomhaven, so there's some fresh content we can have a look at there. We will do that. The crew, this is the German version, but the crew is quite good. I played with the family last week. Really good fun. It's like everything that the mind should be. It's a game. It's a trick-taking game, but you're working as a team, not communicating much. It's fun. It's really good. It's one of the things I think is well worthy of getting the praise and kudos it's had. So that's pretty cool. Another one I've not played yet, but we're going to is The Binding of Isaac, 4 Souls. I can't remember where I saw this. This was cheap again. It was one I'd kind of been on the fence off because actually the video game of this is pretty good fun. So yeah, that's one to get played at some point. If you've not played the video game, it's kind of by the guys who did Super Meat Boy. It's a very old school sort of platformy stuff. Meat Boy is. This is more of a top-down sort of Zelda-ish vibe to it, like Rogue. They call it Rogue, I think, game. But you're essentially running around with like one life trying to survive. You'll die pretty much most of the time. It's weird, it's freaky, but it's kind of cool, and I like the aesthetic of it. It's quite a nice set. In fact, there's quite a cool thing in here. How do I get into it? It's a weird box to get into. Oh, this is a bad idea. I can't get into this now. This will take like forever. And slowly but surely it will open. Oh, for the love of God. This is going to be the biggest anticlimax in the history of stuff. Yeah, you get some coins, plastic coins in there. But what I did kind of like was a nice touch is I've still left one instead. You get a roll of quarters, essentially of fake coins. That was kind of a nice thing. That was not worth the time it took me to open that box and get into it. Sorry. Right, there's that. What else is going on? So, Solar Storm. It's a review copy's come through. It's from... I can't remember the name of the bloody company. Still can't. Dakumun. Anyway, they're from Birmingham. They're local designers. Andy Hopwood, who designed... lots of stuff, Mine Leaf and some other bits and pieces, and had a Kickstarter at Daring Dust Bunnies at the tail end of last year. He'd originally tipped me off to these guys. I was very busy. It was Christmas, and I didn't have a chance really to look at it. But they've been in touch. I was reached out to them, and they were offering some review copies. So I thought, hey, let's get back. Let's go and see. As I had a hard tip to look at it. So Solarsom is a kind of a it is a cooperative game. Essentially, sees you as a crew on a ship that is drifting out of orbit into the centre of the sun. It's going to burn up and die. What you're essentially doing is working together to reactivate the ship's systems to get it into the engine core, so you can launch off and escape from the thing. So it's kind of pandemic-ish. Looking over the rules and stuff, I haven't played it yet, but looking over the rules, and the art design looks really nice. It's crisp, it's good, it's a nice little look, and it looks like a fun little game. A very simple rule set. So we were getting this played. Hopefully this week I will get the family involved. We'll give this a go, and then I will. And there's a solo mode, so I'll try and do that on my own as well. And I'll get you a review of this as soon as I can. But yes, Solar Storm. So that's kind of cool. That was on Kickstarter. I think it's either out or coming out to retail very soon if it's not already. But yes, kind of cool. So we've got that to look at. And then we picked up this bad boy, which is Forgotten Waters, which is Plaid Hat Games' new Crossroads game. Loved Dead of Winter. I have Gen 7, as I've covered before. We've not played it yet because it just didn't really have that. Everything that we liked about Crossroads seemed to be missing from it. So I don't know. It's a real hard teach that was. Forgotten Waters has got a bit of buzz anyway. And if we hadn't covered it, Plaid Hat split from Asmodee, then they're back doing their own stuff. I kind of like Plaid Hat's aesthetic and design stuff. They've had some duffers. We can't argue that, Seafall. But yes, as a company, I always kind of had a fond affection to Plaid Hat. So this is new Crossroad game. It's pirate themed. It uses an app which controls a lot of bits and pieces, and it looks gorgeous, really stunning, really beautiful looking design and shape of it. Like a 7-page rulebook, so it's very straightforward. And from what the buzz is, and from looking at it, it does appear to be the case. It's one of the best implementations of an app doing all the heavy lifting for you. It looks simple enough that I think that I can get the family to play it. So it's one I really want to sit down with them and have a go at. And it looks fun. It's a campaign game in there, but only small campaigns. You can replay it all. And art and design looks really strong and gorgeous, and it looks like a lot of fun. So yeah, Forgotten Wars, I couldn't resist. I picked it up. I'm not going to pick many more up because I'm not playing games, but that's one that I'm definitely keen to give that a shot. So if I can get a game of that in this week, I will come back with my thoughts and feelings in regard to it. So that's all up to all that. So let's do some news. So big news is Gen Con finally cancelled. What a shocking development. Off the back of Essen cancelling tail end of last week, Gen Con, who'd been divvying on it, and clearly it was a stupid move to try and even run the convention, but they looked like they were going to. And then suddenly in the 11th hour after Essen cancelled, they suddenly saw sense and cancelled it. Thank God for that. So they've cancelled, finally. Well done, you organisers of Gen Con, for having the foresight to do that after everyone else cancelled. Brilliant. But yeah, so that leaves us in a position of a bunch of virtual cons happening this year. Everything's going to virtual con. Gen Con are going to do a virtual con. UK Games Expo doing one in September. This weekend, if you're in the UK, or maybe if you're not, but it's mainly UK centric, the UK Gaming Media Network, no, it's not, the UK Board Gaming Trading and Chat Facebook group are doing a virtual con on there. It's one of the bigger groups. This weekend would have been Expo, which is why partially I'm off. No Expo, as we know. So they're doing one. I'll see what's going on that. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on virtual cons. I mean, we've had Gen Con a few years running, which has been all right. Just the end result is, what I love about a convention is that shop floor feel, the vibe, obviously the mingling of people, meeting people that I don't see maybe only once a year at a convention, and just browsing the stores and looking at stuff and touching games and all the stuff that we can't do at the moment is what I love about a con. That interaction, meeting people that I haven't seen for a while, all that, and seeing new stuff and getting to see it and touch, feel, do it. The tactile nature and the smells and the everything about it. Well, maybe not some of the smells. Anyway, yes. So virtual cons. I've distracted myself. I don't know. Whilst I think cool, we're doing virtual cons. I don't think it's something that I really am astounded by. I'm not blown away by it. I'm not excited about it because it's not what I want from a convention. We'll have a look, we'll see. But they're happening anyway. There's people that maybe want to do that, and it's good for you that you do. But yes, I've done that. News. So lots of news. There's a second Shining game. Now this is very confusing because I thought there was only one, but there's two Shining games now. So the original one, which I was going to do for Asmodee Live, because I am at some point going to do that. I was going to do Prosper Hall's The Shining game. Now, since then is the OP, and it's Jay Cormier and Sim Young. I can't remember his name. The guys who did Junkheart. And a weird thing, I met the guys who did Junkheart at Essen about 2 or 3 years ago, the year that Junkheart launched. Sat on a tram, we were going back to the airport, and I had a whole conversation and found out at the end that they were designers of Junkheart. I hadn't played at that point in time. But they've gone on and done quite a bunch of stuff. I don't know why I threw that in there. Just, hanging with my designer celebrity friends. But yeah, they're doing Escape from the Overlook, which is part of this Coded Chronicles game series. So I think we're thinking a bit Time Story-ish, a bit escape room stuff. They've done a Scooby-Doo one they've announced already they're doing, and now they're doing the Shining one. This year being the 40th anniversary of The Shining, obviously some of this stuff's being wheeled out. Not played either of them yet. Obviously, you haven't played the original one, which was okay by all counts. The OP stuff is, some of this stuff's been pretty good actually. So I'm interested to see what this is like, because this might be better, I have a feeling. But yes, anyway, there's that. So there's that going on. So there's that. Kickstarter. So at the moment on Kickstarter, as of this point in time, is the War of Whispers Kickstarter's come out, the second edition of it. I haven't played War of Whispers. And in fact, it kind of passed me by. But sort of buzz, people posted about it. I'd look at it. I know shut up and sit down and give it a really good review. And looking at it, and the idea of it is it's essentially Game of Thrones. They've taken the idea of the Game of Thrones and the shadowy sort of advisors and assassins and stuff all behind the scenes manipulating the kingdoms, the armies, the families into these wars and stuff, and to their own best interests. So it's that sort of, you're taking that stance of the shadowy advisory types doing your thing. And it looks kind of cool. There's two options of it. You can buy like the second edition basic version, which is wooden cubes and stuff, which looks perfectly functional, which is the version I'm going to pick up, I think. And also, if you want to splurge a bit more money, there's a lot of plastic crack version of it. It looks like it plays really quickly. It looks actually like a lot of fun. I like the theme. Game of Thrones, the board game, is one that I owned upon a time, but it's just was such a hard fight to get it to a table, and such a monstrously sort of clunky old school FFG game that you just kind of needed the right amount and the fullest body count of people to play it, that it just wasn't seeing the table time, so I got rid of it. This definitely looks like it's going to maybe fill that void, as it were. So that's really good. That's the tip for me. I backed it, and obviously when it comes and we get a chance to play it next year, we will review it. As well as that, the other big news is probably there's a couple of big names hitting Kickstarter this week. The 26th is when we will see the launch of Nemesis Lockdown. Kind of maybe an unfortunate terminology, but maybe they've cashed it in there. Nemesis, really popular game, obviously good game. I've owned it, I've played it, I really love Nemesis. I thought it's really well done. That's Aliens-y style, semi-co-op sort of game. It's very good, very thematic, really good solid game. So this is a standalone game, but they are offering the original Kickstarter stuff on it as well. So if you missed out, you can pick stuff up. I'm definitely tempted by maybe some of the aliens and stuff, some of the bits that I didn't get because I didn't get the Kickstarter, the original Nemesis. It's one I'm very much like, interested for. So I'll see on that because I'm trying not to go crazy. But tempted. So we'll look. That's anyway. There's a couple of days' time that launches. The same day we'll see the launch of Kemet, Blood and Sand, which is like the second edition of Kemet. All new artwork, all new stuff. I own Kemet. I like Kemet. It's a really good, solid dudes on the map game. So I won't be backing it. I don't see how. I know it's a new rule set and some other bits and pieces. Lovely. I just can't. As a game I've got there that is played semi-regularly. I haven't played it for a while. And I've got lots of other dudes in the map games. it is one that I love. So if you've not got Kemet, I would say that Kemet is well worth having a look at. And I'd be interested to see what they've tweaked in this version of it. But yes, there's that. I think, other than that, looking at my bits of paper here, my scrap of paper that I made notes on, that is it. So yes, that's the news and stuff for this week. Thanks for all the new people that have joined us. We're in 280 odd subscribers. We're creeping towards the 300, which is astounding. And considering I'm not really putting out any content, reviews and stuff at the moment, I will. It's nice. Hello, all new people that have joined us. Don't forget, there is the Who Dares Wolves website, which has got a ton of reviews and stuff, and RPG articles from Charlie, written reviews from me, all sorts of stuff on it. It's got, as I said before, it's got about 5-6 years of content on there of stuff. So there's a lot of meat there for your time if you want to do a catch up on us. There's all sorts there. Have a look at that. Lots of podcasts. Obviously, there's 60 odd podcast episodes. Some of them in differing levels of quality. And I will try and get another one out this week. Whether it would just be me solo or not, I don't know, but we'll see. So yes, there's that. There's obviously all the other stuff we do out there. Feel free to look at that. Coming up in the week, as I said, I've got the Clank Legacy review I need to edit and maybe do some more filming for. We'll look at Solar Storm. Maybe look at this. There's a couple of other bits and pieces I've got to look at. There's Outbreak, which is a zombie game which is coming back to Kickstarter. Never made it to Kickstarter. I've got it over there, which was Dark Frontier Games. Really good fun. Kind of a cross between SimCity and They Are Billions. It's a zombie sort of sim. You're building a city and you're protecting against sort of like top-down view on it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. So I've got the review of that to drop. Again, I filmed a chunk of that. I need to go back and film some more and do the video for that. And that's us, I think, for the moment. Hopefully I'll be back in touch this week with some more content. As always, stay safe out there, and look after yourselves. And thanks for following my nonsense. Also, I should probably have another board next door thing I'm working on at the moment, so we'll do another one of those soon as well, because that was quite entertaining and had a little bit of interest. Anyway, there we go. So that's it. If you want to like and share our stuff, fine, go for that, do that. Patreon, if you want to go and patronize us, go and do that. I need to I'll be honest, I need to look at Patreon and I need to look at what I can do with that to make that more appetizing. So maybe this week I'll try and have a look at that and see if I can do something for that. Maybe give some stuff away. That seems to be the thing, giving stuff away. I don't have much free stuff I'm sent, so that's the issue. But I'll have a look. Yeah, that's it. That's us. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. As always, as I say, have fun, play games if you can, or whatever you're going to do. And I'll see you soon. Until then, bye.